to GavGoesIn. Bit of a mad one, mad day today, guys. Big up yourselves. Do you know what? I thought I'd just come live. Just nothing was planned today. Obviously, I planned to do one to go live. I was gonna say earlier today, but I thought, you know what? Let me just at least give you guys some content, because again, after last night, the Man United result, as you guys know, it was a bit of a let's just say it was a heated reaction from myself because go on, Rio. What a finish. Rio on his debut. Rio scoring his debut. My God. Rio got a goal on his debut. Big up Rio. Hey, listen. Rio. Rio scored on his debut. I mean, on his debut. On his come off the bench. What a finish. Rio Ngamoha. Hey, Rio. Big up Rio, man. Great move, to be fair, Liverpool. Great finish. He was always going to slot that. Hey, Rio, man. Rio. Big up Rio Ngamoha. Guys, as I said, man, play against Rio 5-a-side, man, where we play. Good play from Szoboszlai. And what a finish. Great finish. He's gonna be a star, Rio, man. He's gonna be a star. I'm telling you. He's gonna be a massive star. Guy's grounded. He's got a good head, man, on young shoulders. I'm telling you, he's gonna be a star, man. What a finish. And that's what Liverpool do, guys. That is what Liverpool do. Liverpool are just one of them teams, yeah, where they just don't know when they're beat. And to think that Rio scored, man, is, hey, listen, I'm happy for him, man. I'm so happy for him. As I said, man, I've played against him a couple of times, and I've spoken to him a few times, him and his brother, man. And as I said, man, the guy's gonna go far. He's gonna go very far, man. Big up to Lewis Jackson. Big up to Crawley Eagle. Big up to 40 Years Life. Sorry, guys, got a bit distracted, man. Just watching this this Newcastle Liverpool game. It's been a great game, man. Yeah, listen, Rio, man. What a finish. He's a very good player, man. I'm telling you, he's gonna go far. He's a future England international for me, definitely. And again, having spoken to him, he did want Chelsea wanted to keep him. And obviously, he thought that his opportunities were best served playing for Liverpool. And look at that. He just come off the bench to score, man. Big up to Rio Ngamoha. But guys, listen. Big up to those of you that have seen my stream from today. Well, my podcast that I've uploaded. That was done a couple of weeks back now. So if you guys get a chance, it's called Escaping the System. So it's I think that might have been part 1 or part 2. I'm not too sure. But yeah, if you guys get a chance, make sure you give that a watch and let me know what you think. As I said, something a bit different. Jack Trey says, are you American? I'm not American, man, but big up for coming through anyway. But yeah, guys, listen. As I said, Liverpool just getting the job done in the end. I think if Liverpool would have, if they would have drawn this game, they'd have been disgusted, man. But to be fair, that's what champions do. It's what champions do. But guys, listen. Who's that? Bruno and Gravenberch having it up. One sec. Yeah, Bruno, give a rush. But guys, listen. Ruben Amorim. And guys, I have been telling you guys about Kobbie MAINOO. I've been saying to you, Kobbie MAINOO is not going to play under this manager. Big up to Nubis Kubis. I've been telling you, Kobbie MAINOO is not going to play under this manager as long as Bruno's here, because Bruno's going to get shoehorned into this team, and unfortunately, Kobbie's going to be the fall guy, and this is what's going to happen, guys. And I've been telling you guys this, So again, do I expect Kobbie MAINOO to leave Manchester United? I don't, because I think when you've got a player like Kobbie who's come through the youth, you know, and let's face it, the guy's got a lot of potential, a lot of room to grow. You know, it's one of them things where the club for me are not gonna let him go. And but if he does sign a new contract, you'd have to believe it's gonna be because Ruben Amorim's moving on. He's going. He's going. That's the only thing that I can look at because that's the only thing that I can look at. Um, what's this? Dan Burn going mad. Yeah, that's the only thing that I can look at. You know, if Kobbie signs a new contract, he would have been told by the management that, or by Ineos, that Ruben Amorim, as I said, is on borrowed time, because there's no way that I believe Kobbie. There's no way that I believe Kobbie signs this contract. You know, but for me, um, yeah, listen, hey, listen, Jonas, bro. Sorry, Jonas just messaged me, guys. Yeah, listen, Rio, man, great finish, great finish. But you know what? When it come across to him, I knew he was finishing that, man, because he does that on a weekly basis, man. You know what I mean? That's an easy finish for him. I'm happy for him, man. You know, I'm happy for him. Big up to OG Bobby. Big up to Ammo as well. Guys, let me know what you think, because I'm going to go through these comments from Ruben Amorim. What he's more or less said on the Kobbie situation and the situation with yeah, and a situation with Bruno losing his head as well. Because I'll tell you now, this manager has a lot to answer for, because I'm gonna go through it now anyway. You know, so what did he say? Again, if anyone's got the comments if anyone's got the comments, man, put it in the chat. And guys, as always, I will definitely get back to your comments and your questions after. Um, but yeah, listen. Ruben Amorim says on Bruno Fernandes, he says, I think he is not used to missing penalties. He knows the importance that this moment can have a huge impact on the team. Again, he's not telling any lies there. The fact that he's saying that Bruno knows the importance. Well, of course, he's gonna know the importance, because let's be honest with you, if he scored that goal, you know, United probably win the game in the end. I would say. I think United would probably have enough to win that game, whether it's they win the game 1-0, or whether they just see out the game, or probably get more goals. But I just think that the fact that he missed that, he was rattled, and clearly he was rattled by the referee. I don't know why he's getting rattled by the referee. I mean, the referee didn't intentionally barge you, but for you to lose your head as captain, as captain of Manchester United, again, it just shows you why he's not the captain for me, because you can't be losing your head because a referee barged you. Like, that makes no sense to me whatsoever. You know, and Crawley Eagle says the ref's fault. Yeah, listen, some of the things I've been seeing on social media, yeah, I'm hearing some fans actually saying the ref put Bruno off. Like, I mean, some of these fans are an absolute disgrace. I'm seeing some fans saying that the referee put Bruno off, and it's like the referee didn't intentionally foul you. And if you've got a strong mentality anyway, that should never stop you from scoring a penalty. And again, Bruno's a very good penalty taker, but the way he skied that over the bar, it shows that the ref got in his head. Funny enough, like I've never seen it. I've never seen a player get influenced by a referee barging him. It's crazy. It's crazy. So again, that was a huge impact on the team, and it was a huge moment in the game as well. So again, if that was at Old Trafford, you know, I would have probably said, you know, even though he's missed, because you're at home, the crowd behind you, it's probably one of them things where you're saying, you know, they're gonna help push on United to try and get another goal, to try and get a goal. The fact that he was away from home, you know, Fulham would have been, you know, they'd have been confident, knowing that they could get a couple of goals or try and put some pressure onto United, and that's what they did. Let's be honest. I think Fulham should have won the game in the end. Fulham had the better chances, and even United's goal, was a foul for me as well. So yeah, that's Amorim's. And then Amorim says, I felt during the match that Bruno Fernandes, wasn't very happy, not very involved. He has a lot of responsibilities. And for me, what I would say is that the fact that he said Bruno wasn't that involved in the game, I don't have a problem with that, because I think when Bruno is involved in the game, that's usually when the team, crumbles in a sense. Because the fact that Man United have built up their team to go through a Bruno Fernandes is just crazy in itself. And the managers identified that Bruno wasn't happy, and because he wasn't involved in the game. You know what? And this is why this manager is gonna fail for me. Because if you're a manager and you know that, yeah, why is he just thinking why is he not thinking to himself, do you know what? Let me change something. Let's see what Kobbie can do if he comes on. Let's see if you can free up Kobbie, and see if he can make an impact in this game. Let's see if Xerxes can come on, and you might take off, I don't know, an Embuemo or a Cunha or something. Try something different. I know Embuemo and Cunha are new signings, but if you can see the games going in a way where it's favouring the other team like it was with Fulham, at least try something different. But no, this manager, what he does, he plays Bruno Fernandes for the whole game, and then has the cheek to come out afterwards. And that's why I didn't watch Amorim's press conferences, because I just can't watch this guy's press conferences, because the guy's an absolute joke. And the fact that he come out and he actually admitted that Bruno was more or less affected by the penalty miss. You don't think to give Kobbie not even 1 minute? You play Bruno for the full game. This is the problem. This is the problem, man. It's I'm not gonna vent. I done my venting yesterday, man, and I've kind of got it out. But this manager's an absolute coward, man. Absolute joke. He's admitting that Bruno was struggling, but yet he plays him for the full game. And again, Kobbie MAINOO is nowhere to be seen. And then obviously his comments on the Kobbie MAINOO situation. So he says MAINOO is fighting for the position now with Bruno. He needs to fight for the position with Bruno in training. Now, again, what that's telling you guys is that this manager has no intention of playing Kobbie MAINOO. And again, I knew this. Many people knew this as well. Kobbie MAINOO's not going to play. And I think Kobbie plays against Grimsby, and then it's going to revert back to normal. It don't matter what Kobbie's going to do against Grimsby, by the way. If Kobbie gets a hat-trick, let's say, against Grimsby, he's not going to start against Burnley, I believe. I think the Burnley team is going to be the same kind of team that he's been playing against Arsenal and Fulham. And as I said, Bruno's going to play every game with this manager, and Kobbie MAINOO can't play with Bruno Fernandes. And this is why I was disgusted yesterday at what this manager done. Because he's not playing Kobbie because Bruno's playing. And again, you can't play Kobbie and Bruno in the midfield too. And what does he do? He does the unthinkable by playing Mason Mount alongside Bruno Fernandes. And that was the ultimate smack in the face for me. Because if we think that Kobbie can't play with Bruno in the midfield, why the hell does he think Bruno and Mason Mount would be a good option? And this is why this manager, for me, just has to I don't give a shit what anyone says. This manager has to, for me, he has the Burnley game. If he doesn't beat Burnley, just get rid of him. Just get rid of him, because I don't want to hear people tell me who you're gonna go and get. It's only the start of the season. This is where the losers mentality comes into it. I'm not a loser, and I'm not going to lower my standards because people think that Ruben Amorim hasn't even been given his players. It's the start of the season. At the end of the day, if he doesn't get nothing less than a win against Burnley, they have to sack him after that game, because What confidence have you got that he does anything against City and Chelsea? And then the 5 games after that are difficult games as well. I think you've got Brentford in there, you've got Liverpool in there, Nottingham Forest are in there, um, Sunderland at home, you know. So what confidence have you got in this manager if he doesn't even beat Burnley? Now, do I think they beat Burnley at home? I do. You know, I expect them to beat Burnley at home. But if he didn't, you just sack him straight away. It's as simple as that. And yeah, man, the fact that he's coming out saying that that Kobbie has to compete with Bruno in training, like Kobbie can do whatever he wants in training. He's not going to come ahead of Bruno. This man just not going to allow it, you know. Because let's face it, Bruno Fernandes should have been dropped plenty of times last season, and he wasn't. And this season, both games, he's been absolutely poor. He's been at fault for both of the goals that have been scored against United. But this man just going to keep playing him, unfortunately. It's an absolute joke, man. So, yeah, but guys, let me know what you think. I'm going to go through your comments anyway. But big up yourselves. Make sure you smash the like button and sub to the channel if you're new in here as well. So Nubis says, Arsenal giving a 15-year-old playing time. Liverpool giving 16-year-old playing time. United can't even give 20-year-old MAINOO because of Nepo baby Bruno. Yeah, big up, man. Listen, cannot disagree with that. Listen, the fact that Arsenal are giving the likes of Max Dowman game time, you know, Ethan Wanieri as well. And then you got Rio, obviously, coming on tonight, scoring the winner. But Man United are shoehorning a Bruno Fernandes, who's going to turn 31 this season. And then Kobbie MAINOO, I think MAINOO's actually 19. I don't think he's 20 yet. But Kobbie MAINOO can't even get not even 1 minute. He's played 0 minutes in both games. You know, like the whole thing's an absolute shambles. It's an absolute shambles, really. Let's be honest. And if I'm Ineos, you know, I'm asking serious questions about why Bruno Fernandes has to play every game, why Kobbie MAINOO is not getting game time. You know, and I think and as I said, guys, I knew this problem was going to happen because the fact that Mason Mount as well, and let's get it right, yeah. I'm not a massive fan of Mason Mount. I don't think Mason Mount's that good, personally. But the 2 games he's played, he has been actually decent. And he has a right to start games ahead of Bruno Fernandes. But the problem is, and I've been saying this for time, Bruno Fernandes is a massive problem because there's certain players that cannot play if he's playing. One of them is Kobbie MAINOO, yeah. The other one you would say now is probably a Joshua Zirkzee. Because if Bruno doesn't play in the 8, he plays in the 10. And obviously, if you've got Sesko on the bench as well, because you got to think, if Bruno plays in the 10, this is the funny thing, yeah? If Bruno plays in the 10, you're now going to have Zirkzee and Sesko on the bench. Because Cunha will play through the middle, and then Buemo will play on the right. So the problem with Bruno Fernandes is that he's creating a thing now where he's creating a thing now where you can't, you're leaving the likes of 2 strikers on the bench to play Bruno Fernandes, and then the number 9, as I said, number 9 will be Matthias Cunha. So this is the problem it's creating now. And then you think if Mason Mount figures in there, you know, Mason Mount are playing the 10, and that means Bruno playing the 8, and that means Kobbie doesn't get game time. So again, Kobbie MAINOO has been affected by Bruno Fernandes. You know, Zirkzee and Sesko are being affected by Bruno Fernandes. So you got 3 players there, you know, in different ways should be starting games. They're all affected by this one player. And this one player, Bruno Fernandes, isn't going to get dropped. So the whole thing's an absolute shambles, man. It's an absolute embarrassment. Big up to Joseph Matodza. 40 Years Live says Kobbie should go to Chelsea. Yeah, I don't think Chelsea would be a good move for him personally, because, you know, Moises Caicedo is going to play, and then you've got Enzo, you've got Andre Santos, Lavia obviously is that injured as well. You know, there's too many players. You know, that you got to think Enzo's actually vice captain as well and cost 100 million. Moises Caicedo is an automatic. You know, Lavia's as good as anything in the league when he's fit. So again, Kobbie's not going to get game time for Chelsea, not because he's not good enough, but there's just too many numbers there. You know, there's too many bodies in that position. So I don't think Chelsea will be a good move for him. I think Man United is a good move. Man United, he should be playing more for Man United. He should be. And as I keep saying, this system is killing Kobbie Mainoo, because Kobbie Mainoo cannot play as a 6 or an 8 in this system. It's killing him. So he's got two things. He's got a manager that's hell-bent on playing his compatriot Bruno Fernandes, and then he's got the system problem as well. So yeah, man, I feel for Kobbie, because a couple of seasons ago, this was a guy that had the world at his feet. Starting for England in the Euro semi-final. Looking like one of the best up and coming youngsters in English football in Europe. And look at it now, he can't even get on the pitch in this poor Man United team. And again, it's not his fault. It's this manager, and this is why this manager for me is on borrowed time. And as I said, I'd love Kobbie to sign a new contract. I don't want Kobbie to be getting the 150 that's been rumoured. I think Kobbie Mainoo for me deserves to be on. If he's gonna get a new contract, for me personally, he cannot be on more money than Amad Diallo, and Amad's only on 90 grand. So Kobbie for me should be getting something along them lines. But again, I'd love Kobbie to stay. But if I'm Kobbie Mainoo, I'm seriously considering my options. So I think personally, if Ineos are smart, they'll be looking at Kobbie thinking, look, this is an academy product who is good enough to play. How can we make him happy? And again, as long as this manager's here, he's not getting game time, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I don't think he should go to Chelsea. I don't think he will go Chelsea either. Cruel Eagle says, I wanted Rio to come on earlier. Gakpo wasn't great. Yeah, but listen, man. As I said earlier, Liverpool, one of them teams, they just keep going and going and going. And again, we're going to discuss Liverpool tomorrow. So make sure you guys are tuning in tomorrow at 6 p.m. So obviously Jonas is a Liverpool fan. And again, we're going to get into some good discussion on that game. Because let's be honest, man, Newcastle must be kicking themselves, because they done more than enough to at least get a draw. Obviously Anthony Gordon got sent off in the first half, but the way they came back 2-2, and then Rio, the golden boy, comes off the bench and gets the winner. 16 years of age, Rio, man, and turning 17 in a couple of days' time. Guy's a very good player, man. Special player for me. I'm telling you, he's gonna be a future England international. And what a finish! But again, when the ball dropped to him, I just knew he was finishing it. And you have to give credit to Arne Slot, because Arne Slot could have easily bottled it and just put on Harvey Elliott by himself and not bring on Rio. And the fact that he brought on Rio as well, and Rio gets the winner. Again, this is why managements earn their money, man, in situations like this. I don't think I've ever seen Amorim make a substitution that changes the course of the game in United's favour. I don't think I've ever seen it. Arne Slot's made two substitutions, and they were involved in the winner. You know what I mean? So it just shows you. It just shows you. When people say coaching, you need your own players, etc. And look at that, Mo Salah as well. Yeah, Mo Salah was shocking throughout the whole game. He was poor. Gets an assist. you see what I mean? But you have to rate Dominic Szoboszlai. Watch Szoboszlai's intelligence to let the ball run. And the finish from Rio is easy. He was always scoring that. He's got that in his locker all day long. But big up to Szoboszlai, man, because many players would have took a touch or took a shot. He done with it, knowing that Rio's behind him. And as I said, the finish was easy. That's an easy finish for Rio. Great finish. So yeah, man. Big up to Nubis says, I could see MAINOO leaving. They are not giving him the big contract on purpose to keep him enticing for the suitors. But the bid must be above 60 mil. The thing is, Nubis, yeah, I don't think Kobbie Mainoo goes anywhere. I don't think he goes, because the reason I say that, Manchester United always like to have a poster boy that's come out the academy for the club. Now, if you think of it like this, the only player of recent note that it was Marcus Rashford. Rashford's out on loan. and now there's no one else. So Kobbie's gonna stay for me purely based on that. And if it's a case where Kobbie's asking for 150, then I'd be happy to say, look, if you want 150 and we can't come to a compromise, move him on, because he shouldn't be on 150. He shouldn't be on 150 if Amad Diallo is on 90 grand. It shouldn't be that. And as I said, you know what I like about this finish, sorry, from Rio, yeah? Sorry to go back to it, yeah? Is he's 16 years of age, and look at the composure. And as I said, playing against him 5-a-side on a weekly basis, yeah? He's got that in his game. Like, it's just, that's a comfortable finish. He's got that composure. And the way that he finished that off, that's just like a training goal. So, and the things as well, he's filled out, man. You can tell he's filled out as well. He's filled out massively. Yeah, man. Big up Rio, man. Big up. But yeah, listen, guys, as I said, man, do I think Kobbie MAINOO leaves Manchester United? I don't. As I said, I think Ineos are they're gonna talk to him, make him come round, and then, as I said, if he signs a new contract, Kobbie MAINOO, he's gonna sign that contract knowing that this manager is gonna be on his way very soon. That's my opinion. But because and again, do I see anyone coming in and paying 60 million for Kobbie MAINOO? I'm not too sure. I mean, you have to look at the teams that I think in this league. I don't see Chelsea buying him for 60 mil because they're stacked in midfield. Obviously, Liverpool's a non-starter. Tottenham, I mean, look at Tottenham's midfield. They got João Paulinho, Bentancur, Bissouma, Papa Matasar, who started off like a house on fire. They've got a lot of options. Lucas Bergvall, they've got a lot of options in midfield. So I don't see that happening. You look at City, again, that's a non-starter. Newcastle, no. Again, I don't see no one putting together 60 million for Kobbie MAINOO. Not because, they don't think he'll be worth it in the future, but it's a lot of money it's a lot of money to put together for someone that is he automatically going to play in your team, or is he worth that money from what he's been showing? Again, so this is what I'm trying to say to you. I don't believe Kobbie goes anywhere. I think he stays, but again, the assurances he's going to want is the fact that this man just not going to be here for the long term. Nubis says, it doesn't matter if he scores the penalty or not, but the fact that United only had 48% possession versus Fulham is embarrassing. Bruno and Cass can't hold the ball. But again, big up to Nubis. The 48% possession, United probably had worse than that. So I'm not really that surprised. And when you have to look at United having 48% possession, like, people shouldn't be surprised at that, because just like Ten Hag, the way that Amorim sets his team up, both of these managers set their team up with the emphasis on not keeping the ball. The emphasis is on, winning the ball high up the pitch and running. It's obvious to see that, because you look at the team that he started off yesterday, yeah? Name me the pure ball players in that team. I'm naming two in the attacking areas, the pure ball players, maybe three. Ahmad, Cunha, and possibly Mbeumo. Like, those are the only three real ball players. Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, these guys are athletes, they're just runners. Patrick Dorgu's an athlete. Obviously, the defenders are a bit different. But in the attacking areas, you've got, obviously, Casemiro's not a ball player, But them attacking areas, you've only got really two, maybe three players that are ball players. So I don't think people should be confused as to why there's only 48% possession. Because if you want to have possession on the ball, just play more of your ball players. These things are not difficult. But again, just like Ten Hag, Ruben Amorim just doesn't respect footballers. This guy likes runners more than anything. Just like Eric Ten Hag did as well. So again, Bruno and Cass in the midfield too. Don't expect to have good possession or to play good football, because Casemiro's game isn't to isn't to keep the ball. Really, he's not. He's someone that intercepts. You know, he's a threat in the opposition box as well. Defensively as well, he's good in terms of being defensively good in the box, defending corners. You know, that isn't his game to keep the ball. He's not. Look at him at Real Madrid. You know, he was the difference maker in terms of the destructor. And then what he would do is give the ball to Tony Cruz or to Luka Modric because they were the pure ball players. At Man United, if you're going to play him and Bruno, and then Amorim thinks Bruno is the ball player, why are we surprised that it's only 48% possession? It's a joke, man. Amo says the club will let him force Kobbie out. I don't believe they will. I don't believe they will. Yeah, I don't think they will. As I said, Kobbie's an academy graduate, and the club and Ineos are not silly. They'll be thinking, look, they want at least a player that is representative of the fan base in a sense, and Kobbie's that, and he's the only one at the moment that's a first team player that can fill that gap. So I don't think he's going to go anywhere, you know, and let's hope he doesn't. I can see United going only 20% possession or less versus City. It's going to be brutal. Big up to N Shack says Amorim has to go. He does for me. He does. And the thing is with against City, we already know what's going to happen against City. I can already tell you who he's going to play against City. Mason Mount will start that game. Bruno Fernandes will start the game. Cunha will start the game, and Bremer will start the game. I can guarantee you this now, guys. Yeah. Against City, don't think Sesko's starting that game. Don't think Sesko's starting the game. Or Xerxes. You know, Xerxes for me has to play, but Xerxes or Sesko won't start that game. Because what he's going to do, he's going to know that Man City are going to dominate possession, and he's going to play Mason Mount because of his energy, his legs. Bruno's obviously going to play, as we know, and he's going to be relying on Cunha and Mbeumo to be the difference maker in terms of getting a goal. Again, do I expect Ahmad to start against City? I don't. I think he plays Dallo. This manager, it's obvious what he's going to do. So, so as I said, man, yeah, I'm not under any illusions on what team he's going to play, man, because, again, this manager is very predictable in what he does in terms of team selection. So, as I said, against City, I expect more misery. You know, Ahmad should play, but I'm not confident if Ahmad plays on this manager. And as I said, yeah, don't expect United to play with a striker. You know, expect Cunha to play up there, and Mbeumo one side, and then Mason Mount. Big up to Finch. Yeah, big up for coming through. Big up to Sham each and every time. Nubis says, I'm done with this transition football. Feels like it's more luck than real control. One bad pass and the entire system collapses. United needs centre midfielders that can play possession-based football. 100%. And again, this is why I didn't want Harry Maguire coming onto the pitch yesterday and fluking a headed goal from a corner. Because that would have pissed me off, I'll be honest with you. There's nothing worse than that happening, you know, and the fans will be like, they don't care, they just want the 3 points. But I'm past that, really. I'm actually past that because, again, Ruben Amorim does need the points, but I don't want the points to come if it means he just puts on Harry Maguire and Harry Maguire gets a goal from a corner and then people forget about the actual performance, you know. I'm so done with that because I just want to see good football, the best players playing, and the results will come. But under this manager, that's not going to happen, you know. So again, yeah, that wouldn't have sat right with me if that was to happen. You know, that would not have sat right with me. So Crawley Eagle says Rio and Dalman, the future for England. Listen, they're making a good fist of it. You know, you got one that's a 10, you know, that can play on the right, and you got one that's a left winger. And as I said, man, yeah, both of them, man, have got big futures in the game. The only issue both of them are going to have is, can they force their way into the first team? I think Rio's got more of a chance than Dalman, I would say. And the reason I say that is because where Dalman plays, as I've mentioned previously, where he plays, you've got arguably the first two names on Arteta's team sheet in the attacking phase, really. and that's Bukayo Saka, and that's Martin Odegaard. Obviously, I know Saka's out injured. He's out for a month, so Dalman probably might get more game time. But the thing is, Is Dalman going to get more game time than Ethan Wanyeri? That's the question. And if you're Ethan Wanyeri and you've seen Dalman come through, and Dalman gets more game time than you have to question your future. And again, Wanyeri signed a new contract as well. So I don't know. And not to mention Madueke as well. Madueke will get game time. Martinelli, Trossard are there as well. Eze's coming. So yeah, I'm not sure if Dalman gets enough game time. You know, that's going to be one to look at. I think with Rio, his one's a bit different because the fact that Luis Diaz went to Bayern Munich, you know, the only left wingers really is himself and Gakpo. And I think in terms of ability, you know, I think he's got more ability than Gakpo. Obviously, Gakpo's a lot more experienced. But I would say Rio, and the goal that Rio scored tonight, you know, that's not going to do his chances any harm. So, yeah, listen, he's gonna be getting more and more game time, and rightfully so, man, because he's a special player in the making, man. So, yeah, but to say that the future of England, as I said, man, they're making a very good fist of it, man, and they're two players of real quality as well. Big up to Rade Bogic from Serbia. Yeah, big up, man, for coming on. Crawley says, I don't think any manager changes things overnight for United. That's why I'm saying give Amorim a full season to see if things are on an upward trajectory. Yeah, listen, Crawley, man, there's no way I'm gonna be here saying give him the full season. As I said, if you're at a workplace, you know, and you're continually failing, you know, your workplace is not going to say to you, okay, you know, you're not meeting certain targets, you're not doing the job, but we're going to give you to the end of the year. They're not going to do that. They'll sack you if you're not doing a good job. So this is no different. You know, too many fans are saying Ruben Amorim hasn't had his players. You know, this is nothing short of an excuse for the manager, because what a lot of these fans don't ask themselves the question is, he's meant to be a coach, because if he's been brought in and you don't care about him coaching the team to get better, then what's the point of any clubs having coaches or managers? You might as well just give it to the you might as well just let your captain pick the team and play from there. So again, I don't want to hear anyone say that this manager needs his own players. It's the biggest lie I've ever heard. At the end of the day, he come in as a coach to coach these players, and the reality is he's not doing a very good job. So all this other stuff, you know, it's just excuses being made for the manager, because a lot of these fans have invested in Ruben Amorim. Maybe because the way he talks, I don't know, you know. But he's not going to pull the wool over my eyes. At the end of the day, he's doing a terrible job. He's been worse than Eric Ten Hag, and I don't want to hear anyone tell me that he needs his own players or that he deserves the end of the season, a full season. No way, you know. And if Man United was to give him a full season, it would just show you that this club ain't serious. Because I can tell you this for free, all the top teams in this league are not doing that, apart from Arsenal. But we know Arsenal are perennial losers anyway. But if you look at Liverpool, you look at Chelsea, you look at City, you know, you really think those clubs are going to give Ruben Amorim a full season? I can guarantee this now. If Amorim was doing what he was doing at those clubs, he wouldn't have seen next season. And this is the standards that United have to get back to. You know, the fact is, two games this season, no wins. You know, one goal, but not even scored by any players, because it was an own goal. And let's be honest with you, it was an actual foul by Lenny Yoro anyway. You know, and then you look at last season, an absolute disgrace. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Really, I'm not really here for the whole give him a full season. You know, he's done more damage to this club than any other previous managers, in my opinion. So I'm not here for that, man. But big up to Ebony Rowley. Big up to Lexi. Lexi is good as well. Nubis says United are not desperate to sell MAINOO now. He has a contract until 2027 with 1 year option to extend. Yeah, but again, I think his wage at the moment is pretty low. So he's gonna obviously want more money. But from what's been rumored, again, I don't know if it's true, but what's been rumored is that he wants 150, and if he does want that, then for me, he can't be getting 150. You know, he can't be getting that. And again, you want to give him a lower wage to keep him hungry. You know, pay him in line with what his potential could be. You know, but again, he's not done anything in football to be warranting 150 grand at 19 years of age. Like it's criminal. So yeah, if he asks for that, Kobbie MAINOO, then he shouldn't be getting that. So I just hope that I hope he does sign a new contract, but it needs to be in line with what his career is up to date right now. And you know, and as I said to you, he does sign for me. He will know if the manager is going to be there or not, because I'll tell you this now, this manager's not playing him. He's not. It's quite obvious the manager doesn't really rate him. He doesn't. So that's something Kobbie's got to think about, man. Yeah, big up to Capybara Lover. Guys, come on, make sure you smash the like button and make sure you sub to the channel as well. Bit of a late one today, you know. But you know, obviously been a bit of a mad day for me as well. You know, there's no morning show tomorrow, guys, as well. Yeah, I've got a few things to do tomorrow, man. So my day's been messed up the last couple of days. But I thought, you know what? I'll come and give you guys some content. So big up yourselves for coming through as well. Much appreciated. Daniel Garga says, let's just fire the whole of MAINOO as a club at this point. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, man. I'm looking at what Ineos have done this season. You know, some of the moves they've made in general. And I think we have to be optimistic, you know. And we have to be giving Ineos their credit. I think the problems I'm seeing with this club, you know, the outgoings have been frustrating. You know, why Garnacho's still here. Rasmus Højlund, thank God, is looking like he's out of the club. And that's one thing I can rate Ineos on. And even rate Ruben Amorim as well, because I've been saying about this player, this Rasmus Højlund is terrible. And the fact that the club have wasted no time in getting him out, you know, I can respect that. And from what I'm seeing today, it's an option to buy as well, like a loan deal with an option to buy. So again, the fact that they've got him out is positive news, because they've obviously realized that this guy just ain't good enough, you know. And Garnacho as well. Sancho, I'd love Sancho to stay. Again, there's not even a week left. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's less than that now, like 6 days. So whether Sancho goes out on loan, I don't know. But what I will tell you, Jadon Sancho is not going anywhere in the permanent because of the contract that he's on now, and he's going to be a free agent. So he ain't going anywhere on a permanent. So you're looking at a loan deal for me. I just got a feeling, you know, and I'm hoping so as well. I hope Jason Wilcox just thinks, you know what, let's just reintegrate Sancho back into this squad, because he'll give United a lot of quality, man. So, but do I think it's going to happen? I'm not too sure. I hope it does, but it's unlikely. But we have to just see what happens. But yeah, the outgoings are frustrating, but I think some things will be done. You know, obviously, Sene Lammens looking like he's going to come in. And guys, Lammens is going to be under huge pressure. He'll be under huge pressure as well to stake a claim for a first-team place. And he'll be under pressure, man, because as soon as he makes a mistake, you know, or let's say a corner comes in and he gets bullied, people are going to get onto Lammens. They will. Because, you know, if you're going to get onto Onana by in there, then fair criticism has to be all the way around. And that's what I'm on. You know, I'm not on just targeting players. You know, I'll give you my reasons. But if Lammens comes in and doesn't pull up any trees, he should be getting the same sort of criticism that Onana and Bayinda get. No doubt. But yeah, that's that, man. Daniel says we are trying to since Ferguson, even optimism is an expiration date. Not sure what that means. Big up to Capybara Lover. Yeah, big up for coming on. Guys, as I said, 13 likes. Make sure you smash the like button and make sure you sub to the channel. Gonna go through a couple of more questions before we wrap up. Obviously, I got to get up early in the morning, man. It's been a madness couple of days. So yeah, there's no morning stream tomorrow, guys, unfortunately. So yeah, if you got any more questions for me, you know, it can be any sort of questions. Doesn't have to be football. Again, make sure you check out my video that I posted today as well on my channel. You know, it's called Escaping the System. So that was, as I said, that was part 2. So I got part, sorry, I think it was part 1, should I say. So I've got the other parts coming out maybe over the weekend. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. But yeah, let me know what you think and make sure your comments come in as well. So yeah, guys, a few more questions before we wrap. If anyone's got any questions for me. As I said, I'm back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with Jonas as well. Yeah, big up to Kobbie, man. Big up for subbing. Be fair, Newcastle done well, you know. Newcastle done very well today, man. 10 men, and they still made a game of it and got back to 2-2 as well. Yeah, big up, Sham, man. No worries, bro. Yeah, listen, we're back at 6 p.m. tomorrow with Jonas, and we'll get into it, man. Some interesting takes, man. Let's just say that. I have to say, man, I feel a bit worried for Liverpool. I know Liverpool have got 2 wins out of 2. And I know there's people out there that will say, you know, if you're winning, like the sign of champions is winning when you're not playing well. But I'll be honest with you, man, they look like a team that can be got at. I have to say. Kobbie says, do you have a dog? I don't. I don't have a dog. Yeah, Sham, I hear it, man. I hear it. But to be honest with you, you guys have conceded 4 goals in 2 games. Like, that's unlike Liverpool. I know you guys have got over the line in the end, but I think if we're being serious, you know, there's question marks over Liverpool's team, to be honest. Mo Salah, man, for me, is one of the most... He's one of the most scandalous players I've ever seen. He's someone, yeah, that he has so many quiet games, poor games, but yet he comes out with an assist or a goal. Like, it's crazy, man. He's crazy. He was so poor today, and he was poor against Bournemouth as well. He was poor against Bournemouth, but come out of a goal. And this is what Mo Salah does. And again, if you're someone that just likes numbers, you know, Salah's he's your ideal, man. Like, he's one of the most... He must be one of the most coveted players for FPL. You know, he just gets numbers, and it's frustrating to watch because he's not a great player, Mo Salah, for me. But numbers-wise, mad. Yeah, listen, Florian Wirtz's a top player, man. I've got no worries on Florian Wirtz. Like, I know Florian Wirtz hasn't... I know he hasn't been great, but he's got quality, man. And I think as the season goes on, he's gonna show his worth, man. He will show his worth. He's a quality player, man. He's a quality player, but yeah, listen, he's not playing great at the moment. Ekatike 3-3, but again, we'll get into that tomorrow. You know, I want to see Jonas's take on it as well. I want to see what he thinks. Obviously, being a Liverpool fan. But yeah, listen, Liverpool getting over the line, man. 2 wins out of 2, not playing great in both games. There is some defensive frailties there as well, but you can't really say anything else. But guys, as I said, I'm looking forward to this window now. This week, you know, things are going to heat up. You know, I think Everton have signed Tyler Dibbling. He's going to be a very good player. Again, another one for the future for England. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting this last week of football. Guys, am I glitching? Someone just said I glitched. Is the stream all right now? We're gonna wrap up anyway. And guys, big up yourselves as well for everyone that's voted on my post. So I done a post yesterday. You know, if Ruben Amorim, if Amorim doesn't beat Burnley, does he deserve the sack? I think we've had about 30 odd votes. So again, if you haven't voted, Make sure you check out my posts. And guys, make sure you check out all my other posts as well. Big up to Kelton Doughty, says, are you a Man United fan? I am. I'm a Man United fan. I'm a football fan first and foremost, and obviously a Man United fan. So yeah, big up. But yeah, make sure, guys, you check out my post and give your vote as well. And again, let me know in the comments what you think. Because as I said to you before, just what this man just done so far since he's come to the club, you know, this Burnley game, he's under pressure for me. Because could you imagine if he doesn't beat Burnley at home? People be calling for his head. If the people calling for his head right now. But if he doesn't beat Burnley, then yeah, he's gonna be under severe pressure going to City and Chelsea, and rightfully so. But guys, listen up. Big up yourselves for coming on each and every time. Again, normally live slightly earlier, but I thought I'd give you guys some content because I'm not streaming tomorrow morning. But again, I'll be back at 6 p.m. tomorrow with Jonas. So make sure you guys come through and show us your support as always. And big up to all the mods each and every time for coming on, contributing to the channel. And big up to all the newcomers as well for coming on as well. But as I said, guys, back tomorrow at 6 p.m. And yeah, make sure you come and join us and give your questions and comments to both me and Jonas. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Take it easy.